I'm at 163 Clubhouse Lane in Lebanon, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, basically anything that would be of concern to the buyer. The access point is the floor clean out here in the front of the basement, just at the base of the steps, and we'll kind of show that. This should be PVC all the way out. Going from this clean out, as you can see here, and there is as we're coming down the steps. And so we're going to go both directions through this clean out. We're going to go back upstream, back or towards, back in towards the house here, and then we're going to also once we look at this, we'll go back and we'll go through the we'll go downstream towards the exterior of the house and out to the main. You can see the branches. Unfortunately, I don't make an articulating head that I can, direct where I want it to go, so I can't go up every one of these branches. But we'll go back through the main line and all the way back to the high end of the line, or the starting point, which would be stack, which is probably the kitchen stack based off the direction it's heading. There's already been a bunch of water runs, so we will be able to highlight any low areas, like we mentioned, with like a belly or anything like that, if water was collecting in a certain area, or any solids. You can see here that this is the end of the line, or the beginning. You can see in the bottom left hand corner that there is an angle indicator, and you can tell we're heading straight up. And so this is the kitchen line based off of the orientation of the camera. So as we pull back, we'll get a look at everything again, but it all looks wonderful. Here is another branch, probably a floor drain for the condensate or something. And then right next to the clean out here, there is a connection that comes over straight from this as we get down in here. Yeah, the one off to the right is what's coming down from the laundry, right inside the garage. And then there was one right before the clean out on the left hand side, and that is where the line is coming in with a stack that's right next to this floor clean out. Okay, so we are back to the clean out. Now we're going to go downstream, and I'm going to run some water just to kind of watch how the line functions as we go. There are multiple stacks. There's one in the, I think the one that we actually ended up in is in the very, like the center rear of the basement. And then there's also one to the right if you're coming down the steps, or if you're facing the houses, to the right of the steps. And there is also a stationary tub. And so now we are exiting the house and going into what they call SDR 35. This is an exterior type of pipe. It's a different rating. The interior is a Schedule 40. It's just two different rating systems. The exterior stuff, the SDR 35, is actually gasketed instead of glued, so that it does have a little bit of give at the connections. They have little rubber gaskets when they connect together, so they have a little bit of movement, or allow for a little bit of movement in the earth, so that it's not as, instead of breaking or cracking, sometimes it'll just kind of give a little bit and prevent major damage. But this is also 6-inch, and the interior stuff is 4. And so far, the line looks really good. We'll be able to tell by the footage where the sewer main is. I didn't walk up and down the street taking a look, but normally on houses this age, they're either they're on one side of the street or the other, up in the grass. And so if they're on this side of the street, we'd be coming up to it shortly. We are getting ready to drop off. You can see an angle indicator there, again in the bottom left-hand corner. It'll show you how big of a drop we're on. 50 to 60 degree drop, and then as soon as we get to the bottom, it levels back out. And so we probably are near the main or at the street, and going where the connection for the developer is. A lot of times the developer comes in first, and that's where they put the infrastructure down before the houses are built. And so they put the sewer mains in, and they'll run taps, or the lines that go to the individual houses, they'll run those laterals over onto the property, and then that's where you'll see kind of the green pipe sticking up out of the ground in an empty neighborhood. And then when they build the house, the builder connects onto that connection. A lot of times those drop-offs are where that takes place. In a lot of cases, the developer and the home builder are the same company, but obviously things are done in different stages. But the good news is that this line looks wonderful. I haven't seen any issues so far, nothing to even note at this point, which is always good news. And it looks like we're coming up to the main now, so you can see, looking into the larger pipe with the water flowing, that is the sewer main. So based off the footage, 90 feet or so from the front of the house, I would say that the line is across the street in the grass. But the line looks great. So we try to get a little bit of, it's not real blurry, but I can see a little bit of a blur on the camera there. And we'll just take a little bit better look at it, or another look at it on the way back. But again, I didn't see anything of any concern. The line looked as good as it could look. And so you can see the flow line on either side of the pipe, and that's about as high as that water level ever gets, even under heavy usage of, doing laundry and taking showers and all that. It doesn't look like it's even quite halfway up the pipe there. Trying to rinse the camera off. That camera lens is only about a ½ inch off the bottom of the pipe, so the fact that it's not even, the water level isn't even coming close to it is also a good sign that the line water is escaping as designed, and not even getting high enough to even obscure the view a little bit. There's a little bit at the bottom of this turn down. There you go. Where the water just collects there at the base of that drop off. And then we'll level back out as we get to the top. should be getting fairly close to the switch over back to the interior pipe. Okay. And we'll be coming back out of the cleanout. So, yeah, the line looks wonderful. Great. Didn't see any issues whatsoever. That's what you want to see out of a sewer line. Wish they were all this easy. There was no issues found whatsoever. The line's open, flowing freely. Not even any low spots. All the connections look great. So that'll end the inspection at 163 Clubhouse Lane in Lebanon, Ohio.